Okay, I'm back here, so let me share the screen again. Okay. All right, so that's clear, right? Please, because when you are gonna be looking for a job, how you gonna tell what you did? Okay, you have to be able to translate what you have learned on the paper here. Okay, you don't have to push too much, but at the same time, you have to put some real stuff in it so that the employer could see. And looking for the job and somebody actually calling you and asking you for setting you up an interview in itself is very good achievement, because if somebody want to interview, that means you have the skills that they are looking for. So getting an interview in itself is a very good achievement. Half of the job is done. Half of the work you're doing is done. Okay, so let's move forward here. So today we're gonna start a new item here. So let's see what we're gonna do. I wish I could have done this better here. Okay, establish passwordless, right? So let me go in here to my master document. And make sure you're downloading this documents here, okay? Download and keep it safe here. I would say this document is good for a very long time. Especially the commands 10-15 years from now, you'll still be using those commands. Okay, so let's see here. Next thing we're gonna do is so we did the disk management. disk mounting. Extending nodes. So we did the password last year, right? The SSH. Okay, so now scripting. Oh, you guys see my screen, right?
Copy that, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So let me finish putting this in here. August 8. So I have this. I'm going to put just all these things in one tab here so that, but this document you already have it here as a separate document, right? You know where to get this? You all know where to get this document, right? This Ansible script. I put it online. Here, you go here and I think it's up to date. Ansible playbook LVM. Yeah, the Ansible is there and scripting is there too. Okay, good. Okay, enough of that. So the next topic I'm going to be worried about is the secure copy. How are you going to copy from one computer to another computer here, okay? I'm going to show this officially here. I think I showed you SCP. But let me officially show you how the secure copy works here, okay? So I'm gonna go here, go here, go here. So this is SCP, stands for secure copy. Okay, so give me 1 second here. So let's see what SCP stands for. SCP. So it says SCP allows files to be copied or from between the host. It uses SSH for Linux here. So I'm gonna do is use the SCP. So what are the users here? Used to copy files and folders over the hosts. Okay, and so I'm gonna turn this one server on, and then we're gonna copy between the servers here. Okay, so let me turn this one on. Yeah, Harun. Yeah, so I'm asking you to join the group. Yeah, did you join the group? Listening what? No, no, no. You are in a wrong. You are in a wrong class now. That class starts at 11 Central, so you could drop off. Join the group and then look into the group information. You have the group all the information in there. Join it after 1 hour from now. I mean, what time is it over there? 10:30. Join it at 12 your time because this is a different class. And I don't see you in the group yet. Let me send you the group link, okay? Okay, bye. Did the IP changed? Why is it taking so long? So let's see here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is mkdir and then scripts and hit enter. Okay, what I'm gonna do is cp everything and I'm going to copy to scripts. Okay, ls cd scripts. So what I'm going to do is move all the files into script. Let me do mkdir scripts. Okay, move asterisk scripts. So everything got moved into the folder called scripts here. Okay, and then I'm gonna also do gzip scripts. Gzipped hyphen rf yeah. Okay, so what is the command to so we're gonna use the gzip to make a file here. Okay, so zips the file and compress it and renames the file with the extension .gzip. Okay, so cp log messages. I think I didn't give you enough information here. Let's do tar here. What is the command tar? Then in the folder name, right? Scripts one.
I think it's tar.cvf.
Yeah, CVF. So this is a folder and this is a single file here. Okay, so let's do ls here. Before that, let me copy the history. So I'm going to say mkdir scripts. Okay, and then I'm going to say move scripts, right? I moved all the files into script. Okay, and then I did the star. Okay, now the command I'm going to use is very simple. Okay, I'm going to clear this. I'm going to type scp scp and then the file name. Okay, now I need the destination, the server I'm copying it to. So I'm going to put in the IP address 192.168.1.105. 192.168.1.105. Let me go ahead and log into that server first. 192.168.1.105. So there is file 1 sitting there, right? Now what I'm going to do is, then you could type a colon and then you could give the destination here. You have to give the absolute path here. Okay, absolute path works. The other part doesn't work. So the absolute path would be slash, what is the folder I want this to be in? Slash root. Okay, so it goes in there, and so it's going to copy this here. It's going to do copy and this and this. So it's not going to ask for the password. It may or may not. Okay, if it asks for password, you give it. If the password list is already set up, you don't need to. Okay. It's asking for the password. Now, if you look in here on the different server, the file script is there. This is how you copy the file. Okay, remember .tar, it has become a single file here. Even though it got a lot of files in there, it has become a single file. Okay, so I'm gonna 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is a command source okay destination. Command is scp, source is script dot tar, and destination 192.168.1.105 slash root. Okay. Now what else you could do is, instead of this, you type, where is this going to go into? Where is this going to go into? Anybody?
Root temp.
Temp directory.
Yeah, temp directory. So now what I'm trying to say is, you could redirect into whatever folder you want on the destination place. Okay, it got copied there. So if you go to cd temp ls, now you see this file there. Okay, pretty simple. Sometimes you get confused here, but you just have to see what you're doing here. Okay. Okay, so now I have this done. So what about the directory? It's the same process. Okay, so to copy the directory, we have this directory here, right? This is the directory. This is the directory. So how do you copy that? SCP. Okay. For that you have to give -r. That means it copies recursively. And then the script name, I mean not the script name, but the folder name. Okay. And everything else is the same, destination. I'm going to put it in your root. And then the moment I hit enter, it should copy all that. So it copied all those things there. So if I go back to the ls, the script folder is there. Okay, pretty simple. So we're copying this folder. Okay, and then you are on a remote host. Okay, so the folder got copied here. I'm gonna save this here. Okay, any questions about this? It's pretty simple here, right? Copying the file and copying the directory, and this is how you copy from one box to another box. Okay, we got 10 more minutes here, so what I'm gonna do is okay, so let's start on one other concept here called SSH SFTP. Okay, what is SFTP? We'll see what is it means. SFTP, it stands for SSH File Transfer Protocol. Okay, so what is this used for? Use case is for the application team to copy data back and forth. Okay, and what you have to do is you have to set up SFTP server. Okay, and you have to enable NAT. Virtual box. So it should already be enabled here, right? If you go into settings here, settings, you should have like a bridge adapter and a NAT, a minimum of. Since this one has a bound, we have bound, right? So we don't have to worry about it. Either one adapter and then one more adapter that has a NAT attached to it. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I am going. I'm gonna create another box here. I'm gonna click clone, and then type SFTP. Okay, good. So I'm gonna power this on. I'm gonna shut down. I'm gonna shut this down here. So I'm gonna log in here, root, Red Hat, IPA. I'm gonna use the IP address 192.168.1.128, right? Okay. So let's set up the server here first. So I'm gonna log in here from SSH 192.168.1.128. I'm going to name it the SFTP, and then I'm going to save it. It's connecting for the first time, so it's going to ask you that. And then I'm going to say root Red Hat IPA. So the server is good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install a software here. Okay. Yum install open ssh-server. This should be already be a part of the Red Hat box here. So we'll see if it's already there or not. Okay, it says the package is already it's part of the server, so we don't need to install or do anything here. But I'm going to put it down here. Okay, now what we're going to do is start the service. Start the service here, like system ctl start sshd dot service. And now we're going to see status. So what we are doing is we are starting the service in the background here, okay? And it says active and enabled here. Okay, so we are good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear this. And then I'm going to create a regular user. So I'm going to name the user add Zafar, and I'm going to set the password Zafar. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is password. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to another server. So we are done here setting up the server, and now uh, go to the. So what I'm doing is client. So what I'm gonna do is uh, this is a client server, right? So I'm on a different server now. Client server, the IP address should be different. IPA. So this is the IP address here. So how am I going to connect to that server here? I'm going to type SFTP Zafar at this server IP address here, okay? 128. Okay, now I'm going to hit enter. It says, are you sure? I'm going to say yes. And then I'm going to give the password. This is the password for user Zafar. Okay, look. Now, if you look at the prompt here, it says SFTP here. All right. What will happen here is the user is restricted. The user cannot do a lot of commands here. The user could do only copy, paste, and some of the restricted commands here. Okay, so give me one moment here. Let me copy this. And password. Okay, and take a look here. This is a restricted mode for the user. Okay, so let's take a look here. SFTP. No, not FTP. We need SFTP. So this is how the SFTP is working. SFTP client, and this is SFTP server here, okay? I'm gonna copy. going to paste here. In this scenario, which IP is this is the client, right? So what is the IP address here? IP address is 192.168.1.105. Okay, and then the server, this is the server here. One 192.168.1.105, and this puppy is 192.168.1.128. Okay, this is what we just have. Uh-oh. One 192.168.1.128. Okay, is that clear enough? And I'm gonna see, I'm gonna get some commands here, okay? SFTP. Uh, 2 more minutes, I should be done here. SFTP commands. Copy, you use the put command here, okay? You cannot use copy SCP here. You could use the put command in here. Uh-oh. You don't want to copy. still don't like that. Give me 1 second here. Okay, so these are the commands that goes with this here. These are restricted commands here. So this is the most a user could get into it. Okay. So I'm gonna stop here. We'll continue tomorrow where we left off here. Okay. Any questions? Put it in the chat.